Jake, we talked about it. This could have been a funeral service, and it was based on how this series went. And I will tell you, this was considered not for half our audience, because I'll tell you right now, we've been reading our chat. They said this team can't beat good teams. They'll beat up on all the bad teams, all the teams that can't capitalize on their mistakes. They'll go beat them, right? Well, in steps a good, not great team. Michael K covered it as a good team. He never once said Boston was a great team. And I thought that was fair. So here's the major test for Aaron Boone's Yankees. They've given away, Jake, I would say 20 plus games this year off fundamentals alone. If their fundamentals were league average, we're a first place team. But obviously fundamentals are part of the game. And to be a good team, you have to practice fundamentals. You have to actually execute fundamentals. They very clearly don't. So luckily for them, none of the teams that they just played the last 2 weeks could capitalize on any of their brain farts. If they screwed it up, the very next inning, we could hit a 3-run home run and the team wouldn't capitalize, wouldn't score, wouldn't advance the next base. And all's fine, right? We win the game. We get to podcast and talk about a win. It's all fun. But then you watch tonight. Austin Wells, yet again, takes off to second base on a routine line drive to the shortstop. He's a catcher, so he's very clearly not fast enough to go from first to third. So why he's overzealous to pop off of first base and not read the ball into the outfield, we have no idea. And this isn't May, it's not April, where these type of stupid mistakes happen and then you say that can't happen and it doesn't happen again. No, this has happened a million times. For him alone, let alone the rest of the roster. Jason Dominguez, one of the worst outfielders you will ever watch. And we're not just going to pick on him because there were a million players that did the wrong thing today. Jason Dominguez receives a routine fly ball to left field, way out in the deep left field. There was no chance in hell, Jake. He was throwing the ball to third base for an out. What does he do? He launches the ball to third base. There's no play whatsoever. Runner on first base advances into scoring position to second base. Absolutely stupid baseball. Disgusting. Anthony Volpe. Routine ground ball. Jarren Duran scurries off of second base. Aaron Boone calls him an elite shortstop. You know what comes with being elite? Elite decision making. He tosses the ball to second base anyways. There was no play whatsoever. Everyone's safe. Stupid baseball. The Twins won't capitalize. The Cardinals won't capitalize. The Boston Red Sox will find a way to beat you. Ryan McMahon. And so the mistakes aren't just the players. Ryan McMahon walks up to the plate and they say, no. We're going to pinch hit for you. We're going to throw Stanton up there. When Aroldis Chapman is scheduled to close, obviously, to pitch the ninth inning, and you've got Austin Wells leading off that inning, and you don't have Stanton pinch hit for Wells, it makes no sense whatsoever. The good news here, Jake, is that the Yankees didn't fail tonight with runners in scoring position. They didn't touch second base. They were absolute garbage in this series so far, and they deserve to be covered exactly that way. The Jays won. Obviously, the Red Sox just beat us, so they won. Max Fried was awesome. So, Jake, there's some good news. So none of us expected that. We'll talk about it, I guess, briefly, right? But, Jake, this is a low IQ baseball team. I think it's finally the time to just call it for what it is. Low IQ, homer happy, clearly just waiting to hit the game-tying home run. I think you just told me before the show, your dad said it felt like we were down 11-0, even though it was 1-0. He's absolutely right. How do you feel right now, Jake, having watched this team play exactly the way you knew they could in a big game?
Yeah, I'm not surprised this is what happened. I'm just really frustrated that it happened in a start where Max Fried looked like Max Fried. Because I had already expected Max Fried to get shelled, and then tomorrow he was going on the IL and they were going to act like we're stupid because he's had the blister the whole time, like you and I haven't been screaming from the rooftops. But no, Max Fried was great, and they get a great performance. And I will say it till I'm blue in the face. I do not care about pitch count. I don't. I would look at pitch count for a starter like how I would look at going for it on fourth down in the NFL. The analytics would tell you to take him out. Well, I don't give a rip about the analytics. I don't care. Max Fried showed no signs that he was slowing down. If he could go for 120 pitches, right, or 110, and you don't have to go to Mark Leiter there, is this a different ball game? Now, there are other aspects, and obviously, this is not taking the offense and excusing them. But my point being is that I'm tired of this. He has to come out at 99 pitches. Why? He looked great.
They couldn't wait to shake his hand. They couldn't wait to do it.
He looked great. I'm so tired of it. They do it when pitchers are dealing. I'm so tired of it. See, I'm actually going to take it a step further. I think Aaron Boone lacks feel so much that he has to go by these numbers because otherwise he would never be able to tell. Like, think about this. When do guys go above 100 pitches? When he comes out there and then they say, I'm good. And he's like, okay. Aaron Boone has never made a decision beyond 100 pitches where he's sitting there like, I'm ready, like, this is all on you, I'm giving you the keys to the castle. No, he always has to go out there, and Rodon has to tell him to sit the you-know-what down, right? That's normally how it goes. I don't understand when a guy who's pitching that well against a lineup that we know can do damage. This is not a team that's just swinging like crazy every single time. They're not whiffing every single time. This is a good team, as you brought up. This sticks. So he's going to continue. 4 hits. Maybe he gives up a 5th. But 2 of those 4 hits were bleeder singles over the first baseman.
That's part of feel. Part of feel is you get to watch the same game that we watched. And you get to say, are they in the 6th or 7th inning there? Are they scorching the ball and then it's like 99 pitches, but they were starting to figure out Max Fried? Is that the case? No. Nope. That wasn't the case. Max Fried was fine. If you'd watched the game and you could wipe away pitch count, you'd say, oh, well, he would never come out of this game.
Can I address this?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
So I don't give 2 shits what he's done for a month.
Nope.
When a starter's on a mound and he is pitching well, and mind you, I was the person that was expecting him to give up 5 or 6 today and get shelled. So I'm eating that crow happily. But what I don't understand is when you've already seen that it's not what he's been for the last month. That's your actual Max Fried, ace level Max Fried is out there. It's stupid to take him out because, he has 99 pitches. Again, 2 of those 4 hits were soft contact. They were bleeder singles.
Jake, do you know what this comment actually would have merit?
And I don't care about another bad take by Jake because there's clearly something there, and I don't know the person personally, so
we don't care. Yeah, we don't care what you think about his take, but I will say this, and I'm going to use this to actually address what happened. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter about building confidence at this point. We're not at that stage of the season. If you were talking about April, May, June, where he'd been struggling for the first 4 or 5 starts in the season, and you really want to get him off the mound just in the middle of the year, not a big game, and you want to build confidence, very similar to what we saw out of Will Warren earlier this year. Aaron Boone's like, we want to build confidence. So what was he doing? He was pulling him early, right? We're not going to let him throw that knockout punch. We're going to get him off the field so he can feel like the whole start was good. Exact same conversation we had with Cam Schlittler last week. They wanted to take him off the field. Let's not ruin this start. And you actually said, Jake, that was the right decision to make, right? He was in a different situation, clearly. But this situation, our ace was our ace. The guy who pitched in the first half was there tonight. And the Yankees said, you know who's a better option for us to pitch this inning? Mark Leiter Jr. That's wrong. I don't know what the analytics are telling them. I don't know if this is not analytics, and it's just what Aaron Boone chose to do. I'm not in that clubhouse. I don't have the answers for you guys, but I will tell you this. There's no rhyme or reason that you can justify that you had a better opportunity to win this game. And this isn't even addressing the offense and their lack of execution. This is just choices of who to pitch. There's so many different decisions that cause you to win or lose a game, which is why when the Yankees get into a big game, they never make the right decisions. Not just one choice, 5 or 6. They make bad choices, and when you make consistent bad choices, you consistently lose this game. That's what we do, Jake. That's the reason why when I asked you, what do you think of this series? You said, if we split, it's a win. Do you know how low of expectations you have to have of your team in big games to not even suggest that they can win a series against a good, not great Boston team? After winning 7 of 8 games, what does that tell you? We're not that great. That's what it tells you, and we're not that smart. So I want to get to what's
real
up.
Quick on this.
Absolutely.
Ask Gary how many times I'll text him and be like, regardless of what happens, regardless of the outcome, this is a bad decision. I don't agree with this.
Before the outing, you text me before the next pitcher touches the mound. Mm-hmm. You did that twice today. Mm-hmm. And anytime you do it, you've done it on multiple occasions where you said, yeah, actually, I disagreed with the fact that we pulled the starter here, and it actually worked out. So obviously an inexperienced listener to our show. So if you want to, you can always dive back into the past and see exactly what we're talking about. But I want to catch up on some of our supers because you guys have been awesome. Marion, our favorite Marlins fan, thank you for the 2, says
Hall
only
of
the
Fame.
squirrel made it to scoring position for New York. It is despicable because I
Hall of
know
Fame
your
super
dad,
chat.
Jake, has been talking about the fact that we see Garrett Crochet tomorrow. Who pitches for us tomorrow?
Will Warren.
Will Warren. Now,
Who I
Will Warren
love.
pitches much better at home.
Yeah.
But Will Warren is not Garrett Crochet. Will Warren, you can win a game against another team's ace, but is it what you would handpick for the Yankees? No, absolutely not. This is a very unideal situation. It's looking like, and I'll tell you right now, if the Yankees don't find a way to win Game 3, they're getting swept. It's devastating. And I understand, it's Dustin May. What do you have to worry about? No. It's with the context that Dustin May's pitching after Yankee Stadium's environment is after having lost 3 games in a row.
Not only that,
is the situation he'll be pitching in.
They already had the advantage with the travel. And I love that Michael Kay brought this up. He said, I appreciated the Yankees for letting me hitch back on their team charter. Do you know what time I got through my front door? 4 a.m.
4 a.m., yeah.
So he's like, now imagine, you have that. You play those night games, and the Red Sox were already in New York. Because they'll do the travel, and then they're just like, oh, yeah, off day.
Yeah, they were doing Del Frisco's, and they were relaxing. Yeah. But for me personally, this is the way the Yankees have been playing these games. And I know that's not what you're doing, which is making excuses.
No, of course.
The reason I don't even like diving into this angle is because it even insinuates in any possible way that we're utilizing this as an excuse or as a justification as to why we're seeing what we're seeing. This is what we saw the whole year. This is exactly who the Yankees were in May. This is exactly who the Yankees were in June. They have not changed a lick, and they told us that can't happen, and it's 1 of 162. We're going to get it figured out. And we're now sitting here you're talking about late August, August 22nd, and you're still making the same boneheaded mistakes. You can't run the bases. You can't bunt. We can't bunt. We just don't do the right thing against the teams that you want to do it against. And that's a huge problem. So I want to get to this super from Guy. Thank you for the 5. Also a member here says, Buffoon says, Volpe been bad the last week. It's 3 weeks. Boone, 3, 5 for 59. Good Lord. Is he really 5 for 59? 5 for 59. Then says, we got to get him going again. We don't have to get Anthony Volpe going. No, we don't. No. Anthony Volpe, how many years has he been on the big league team, Jake? Is this year 3?
Yeah.
I almost felt like it's been 4.
You saw my tweet today. I was so livid that Caballero wasn't in the lineup that I just took it out on Volpe. And I was like, you know what? The best way to beat somebody in an argument and to offend them and to rip them is just use their own production against them when they're underachieving.
Well, I've heard it's hating, because that's what I've heard. When Anthony Volpe hits clutch home runs, we talk about it on this show, and people go, why are you guys doing that? I said, well, because we're podcasters. That's what we do. We talk about what happened on the field. Anthony Volpe, over the long term, has been a horrible baseball player who periodically, year to year, will show you a quality glove. Weak arm, but quality glove. He's, more times than not this season, been a bad defender. And so if he's been a bad defender more times than not, he's a bad baseball player. How do I know that? Because he's a career .215 hitter. That's how I know. That is how I know, Jake.
And we can't just be like, well, hold on a second. Anthony Volpe's fielding again, so it's okay. What? We're doing that now? We're going to let him struggle? Was that the plan? We're going to let him struggle to the point where then, okay, the defense gets somewhat fixed, although today we'll get into that throw.
We have to get him going. They're acting like Anthony Volpe has carried the Yankees for 6 to 8 weeks before. He's never done it in his life.
Well, also,
it's never happened before.
Think about this, right? Rivals in the division right now, you're not thinking about them as anything more than a bottom feeder, which, I mean, the Yankees aren't much better right now. The Orioles. Today, they signed a guy who the Yankees would have signed if Rob Manfred's stupid rules weren't in place, but that's neither here nor there. They signed that catcher, Basallo, for like a long-term deal. Adley Rutschman is not going to have a future with this team. That's what they're telling you. And I bring this up because, I mean, how many people, number 1 overall pick, Volpe was not the number 1 overall pick. How many people were like, Adley Rutschman is literally like, he is the first class, going to be can't miss catcher. Like what we're seeing with Raleigh, that's what people were expecting from Rutschman. And
yeah, an MVP type player for sure.
Yeah, and the Orioles are like moving on from him. And I'm not, and understand where I'm coming from here. I'm not defending Rutschman. I'm saying if the Orioles can move on from their number 1 overall freaking pick this quickly, why can't the Yankees realize that Anthony Volpe just isn't as good as they were hoping?
How old is he, by the way? So you're saying that they're willing to ink a player behind him.
Yeah.
How old is he?
Adley Rutschman or the player?
Adley Rutschman. How old is he?
Adley Rutschman is now, well, he's 27 now. But
okay, perfect. So do we have to wait until now? How many years has he played in the big leagues?
Well, he was a rookie, I believe, the first year Volpe was here, 2022. Yeah.
Okay. So they watched the exact same amount of baseball and said, you were awesome. We can't wait for the future. This is great. And then they watched horrible baseball and said, this is just great players don't do this for this extended period of time. That's what there is to be learned. How many great players can you guys think of that were objectively bad baseball players for 3 seasons in a row? And then all of a sudden, people are saying in the coverages, and your manager, we've got to get him going. He's never gotten going before. He's never gone down the runway and taken flight. What's up?
Rutschman was 12th in the MVP voting his rookie year.
Yep.
9th in the MVP voting his second year. 2-time All-Star. All-Stars don't really matter, but it was worth throwing out there. He had an 806 OPS in his first year, hit 254, had a 362 on base. His second year, he had 277, a 374 on base, 809. His third year, 250, 318 on base, 709 OPS. And this year's 227, 310, and a 684 OPS. I understand he's older, right? Because when they drafted him, they're drafting a guy out of college, not a guy out of a prep school like Volpe. And Volpe does have time, to say the least, to catch up because he's 24. But my point being is Volpe and Rutschman have both been in the league as long as each other, okay? They both have the same amount of reps in the major leagues. And Rutschman, his worst year this year, which has them scrambling to sign the 21-year-old catcher long term and move on from him. He's hitting 227, 310 on base, 684 OPS. That would probably that's a better year than what Volpe's putting together. And if not, it's comparable. That's what we're talking about here, because last year, 250, 318, 709, that's like what I'm hoping Volpe will end up being. That's like my ceiling for him right now. I'm out on Anthony Volpe being a star. I'm out on him being a fringe star. I'm out on him being a good player. I think he's just going to be an average player, and that's his ceiling. You've said Dansby Swanson. I don't know if he even gets to that.
I said the ceiling is Dansby Swanson.
Yeah,
he's
I don't even know if
to
he
be
gets
Dansby
to
Swanson.
that.
He
So
will
that's the
not be
thing.
that. He will not reach that ceiling. He will be a player down the road for another organization that hits 250. He'll put it together, and 250 is not crazy to ask.
No.
He'll hit 250. He'll hit 17 homers. His ops will be somewhere in the mid 700s, and he'll win a Gold Glove. And people will say, "Oh, look it was the Yankees that were the problem." No, that's not a great player.
No.
It's not a great player. So stop trying to sell me that this is a great player. No, the Yankees, and when you mentioned the Orioles and this whole situation, then obviously we'll wrap this, you're essentially proving the Orioles are trying to win. They're trying to prove that they can win. We're trying to prove we were right about the past. That's why we do what we do, is we make decisions, and then everyone tells you for 2 years, this seems like the wrong choice. This doesn't seem like the right thing to have done in hindsight. And the Yankees said, you listen to Brian Cashman. No, what are you gonna, when he wins a Gold Glove, what are you gonna say then? You're trying to be right. You have an ego, and your has us World Series-less in 16 seasons. Your ego is how we got here. You've made good decisions before. We've covered them. You've made a lot of bad decisions. A lot. And I'll tell you right now, someone who's not accountable is useless in any field. Anyone in the world that refuses to take accountability is a useless person. Totally useless. And that is Brian Cashman. That is Aaron Boone. That's the reason why they can get behind the mic and they'll just tell you whatever. They'll lie to you. They'll tell you that Aaron Judge will just never be healthy, and that is not the case, right? The player himself said, I don't know where he got that. He hasn't seen me throw. They are willing to just lie to you. They don't care. So it's disgusting. And guys, before I read this, no, they do not care. Before I read this super, please be sure to subscribe and like this video. Liking the video helps out our channel a ton, more than you guys think. We have almost 600 people in here. I'm sure we're going to pass that as well. Please be sure to like the video and subscribe, because we're giving away a Yankees jersey. Jake, we're getting very close now to 10,000 subscribers. It is a customized, fully customizable, whatever jersey you want. I'm not even sure.
Away.
Yeah, I'm not sure which jersey anyone would want, but we really appreciate you guys being here. Slim Lewis with the 10 says, people talk about the schedule, but from September 2nd to the 14th, we play at Houston, host Detroit, at Toronto, at Boston. If we can't beat good teams, we'll be out the playoffs by September 14th, and it won't matter how easy things are. So if you really had, I know Houston kind of got beat up this last week, but I'm going into that Houston series not feeling very confident. I'm not. I don't feel very confident when we play Detroit and we go see a Tarek Skubal. I'm not feeling confident. I'm not. Toronto, do I feel good going into that series? Nope. What about at Boston? We can't even handle Boston at home. Jake, you were saying it'll be a win if we can take 2 of 4 at home. What are we going to do at Fenway? This is a nightmare.
That is, there's your funeral.
This is a funeral. We're just going to have a second funeral. They'll just pat us down even more. This is our death. That's what this is.
It's like, oh, and you're 6 feet on. Well, now you're 12 feet under. Like it's like it's a ceremony to knock you 6 feet more under. Like that's what.
Yeah, I did see some chats, by the way, and this was before we went live. I like to sit here early and read what people are saying, and people were saying how you read the title and how did they have momentum. No, objectively speaking, you have momentum if you win Major League Baseball games, no matter who you beat. If you swept Colorado twice in a row, you have momentum in the standings. And then what are you going to do against good teams? Our prediction, Jake, was that we weren't going to fare well, and we didn't.
I told you. Baseball doesn't work the way, basketball or hockey works. Like if you win 10 of your last 12, right? That's good in hockey. That's good in basketball. Baseball, if the last 2 losses, so if you win 10 straight and you lose 2 after that, you're feeling the 2 losses. You're not feeling the 10 wins. And so that's what I watched today. They were feeling it from losing yesterday. And then today, and it just goes back to, like my dad was early on it when he said that he didn't think this offense was good. Like this offense has talent, right? But they're so reliant on the home run, and you can see it. And it got to the point where, I felt like everybody needed to get a home run. Like everybody's like, oh, well, we're down 1-0. No, Ryan McMahon, I just need you to put the damn ball in play. Like, you're terrible. I hate watching Ryan McMahon swing a bat for this team.
What do you think our audience thinks about our offense? So your dad's perspective is that the offense is just wildly overrated. They can beat up bad pitching, but when they face good pitching, they can't execute, right? They can't move runners over. They can't essentially they can't get a hit with runners in scoring position. Pretty much an impossibility the way they play. I'm curious to know what our audience thinks of our offense. Ditch the bullpen, ditch Aaron Boone, all of it. Tell us, what do you think? Because the numbers say we score a lot of runs. I'm not even telling you my opinion yet. Jake hasn't either. What do you guys think about this offense? Is this a great offense? Did you think when we went into innings 7 through 9, Jake, you said your dad felt it was 11-0 in his head. It looked like that. It was like we were playing a game in a library, and we were at Yankee Stadium under the lights.
Well, and Gary, I mean, you're looking at this lineup and you're like, Stanton isn't even an everyday player. And it's like, this is really what makes you go, if they fired Boone just for that, I'd be okay. Because it's unacceptable. You have 2, I'm going to say it right now. Stanton with the New York Yankees has over 1,000 OPS this year.
Yep.
You also have Aaron Judge. And you also, in a short sample size, Jose Caballero. 1,000 OPS, isn't playing. That's not acceptable. I don't care that you think Anthony Volpe is effing elite. I think you're effing dumb if you think that. Dumb. You don't know what you're talking about. Nothing about Anthony Volpe's elite, and that throw to second was enough for me to... I would have benched him right on the spot for that. That was awful.
And they make it seem like we're really mean.
Terrible.
We're picking on him, Jake. They make it seem like we're picking on Ryan McMahon, who, by the way, is under contract another 2 seasons.
Am I picking on Volpe, or am I picking on Ryan McMahon, or am I picking on Jazz Chisholm, or am I picking on Jason Dominguez for not holding the runner and throwing to third so that another... No. Problem is, the top half of the lineup, and honestly, like today, they didn't really do much. I mean, we only had 3 hits. One hit today was Austin Wells, who then negated that by having the dumbest base running thing you'll ever see, but not really, because it's not dumber than the last time he had a base running skid. And then it's not dumber than the last time he had a base running issue. And oh, by the way, it's not dumber than the last time he had a base running issue before that. So, but
he
then
forgot the outs twice this year and then did that twice. He's done that like 4 times. And Jason Dominguez has done it twice as well. Jason Dominguez has also forgot the outs. Anthony Volpe has forgotten the outs this year. How hard is it to know the outs?
Right now, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking I was right. They should have picked up Nathaniel Lau for the simple reason that they shouldn't have allowed the Red Sox to get him. They should not have allowed that. But also, he would have helped this team. So now Nathaniel Lau's on the Red Sox, and he's helping them. And then, and by the way, I did the whole video, he has amazing splits, late in games. Like, it's dumb. The dude's one of the most, like, clutch hitters in the game. But on top of that, you know who else I didn't want? And Gary didn't want? Ryan McStrikeout. That's who we didn't want. Didn't want him. Guess what? I actually have his numbers here, Gary. Do you want to hear his Yankee numbers? Because everyone keeps talking about how he hits 250 for the Yankees. Do you know where he's at right now?
Yeah, what's it at?
Because you know how like time moves forward. You don't just stay at 250 like because you were 250 2 weeks ago. He's now hitting 217, which is, believe it or not, lower. Or excuse me, he's hitting 219, right? He's hitting 219, so he's 2 points higher than Colorado. His on base is a little higher, 326 compared to Colorado's 314.
Which is fine, not great.
But his slugging percentage is 315 and Colorado's 403. And they told us when they got this guy, oh, he's going to do some things in the Bronx. What things is he going to do? I swear that dude has one home run that barely got out of the yard. I feel like we have been totally lied to, and I'm convinced this dude has no power whatsoever. Like, he just played in Colorado.
People were actually upset when I heard on the broadcast, they said, oh, we expected him to hit for power. I said, you did? What made you expect that? He never hit for power his entire baseball career on the road.
It's like what we talked about. He looks like he can hit for power, and that's about it.
Here's the interesting part, Jake. This is the interesting part. We expect him to hit for power, but when we signed him, I said, this signing sucks.
I hated it.
Horrible pickup. And here's what people said. Well, did you want to watch Peraza defensively? They're bringing him here for the glove. So why are we sitting on the broadcast saying that this was also a bat? Why all of a sudden did you watch him hit 250 for a week and a half, and then now suddenly he's a player that you trust to hit? No. In actuality, you signed a player that you're going to pay $16 million for next year and the year after that because he's a designated glove. He's going to field his position. He's a really good defensive third baseman. Really good. But he can't hit a lick. Not at all. He has no pop. And when he gets on base, he's station to station. He's not fast. And you knew that when you got him. His ops is 707, league average.
I'm about to blow a gasket.
It's genuinely, you shouldn't be surprised by these results at all because he was doing exactly what you guys are watching right this second last year and the year prior. That's the reason why Jeff Passan gets on the broadcast and says, yeah, the Yankees, they might be involved and this team might be involved. They're kicking the tires. The reason you hear kicking the tires is because he's not a good player. That's why.
Do you know? You know who I wanted.
Yeah.
And he didn't
You wanted Yoan Moncada, right?
No, I wanted Brian Hayes.
Oh, yeah. I don't think I really...
Do you know what he has right now?
No, I don't, actually.
He has more home runs than Ryan McMahon, and he literally has 4 home runs on the entire season. 4. He has more home runs than Ryan McMahon. Brian Hayes. Oh, and guess what? He's hitting 240. And oh, by the way, 267. And by the way, he has a 790 OPS.
Do you remember when we were saying he could maybe hit 250 for the team and then be a premium glove, right? And we can actually fix... Do you remember our conversations where that we think we can fix his bat because we've seen it before? That's the only reason why. We didn't just pull it out of our butt cheeks.
No.
We literally told you guys the only reason why we think he can work for the Yankees, come here for nothing, is because of his contract, because of the control, but also what we saw in recent history. Not this year, but recent history.
I'm so angry.
Ryan
Gary.
McMahon's done absolutely nothing. Right. And Scott Ross with the 10, because I want to catch up. You guys have been awesome with the super, so thank you guys for getting involved. Scott with the 10 says, it was obvious to everyone in the stadium, Mark Gascan Jr. Do you notice I saw someone call him Osama bin Laden on Twitter today?
No.
Yeah. Sorry, Scott. I'm getting back to it.
I got to tell my best friend to pull over so he doesn't crash the car right now. He listens to us when he's driving.
He was going to give that away. In all seriousness, and that, Jake, you agreed with it earlier. Yeah. In all seriousness, nothing matters when you're 7 through 9 is Volpe, McMahon, Wells. Just doesn't work. Homers or bust. What was Anthony Volpe's entire contribution the last 3 weeks off it? Month, right? He was hitting. He hasn't been horrible for just a full month. Mm-hmm. He was doing something. Jake, what was he doing again?
Hitting home runs.
Hitting home runs. That's the end of it. Ryan McMahon, well, he wasn't hitting home runs. He wasn't hitting anything. Austin Wells has hit nothing. And then in the last game he just played, which is why he was out there today, he hit 2 home runs. He has done nothing else. So those 3 players, one of them is just a designated glove, which is right there in the middle. Volpe is a designated home run hitter, who is getting a little bit better defensively until today. Obviously, big game, so that's where Volpe shines the brightest. And Wells doesn't do anything but hit home runs. So how can you have your 7 through 9 hitters just hit like they're 5 hitters and just try? I'm going to try to go upper deck every swing. You said it just yesterday. Anthony Volpe's just trying to go to the porch every single time he hits. You're right. So Scott has a point here. You cannot have a 7 through 9 have the exact same approach one after the next. I'm going to go get ahead of them, sliders in the dirt until they chase. All three of them will do the exact same thing. You saw it with McMahon with the bases loaded. You saw it with Volpe with one of the worst swings I've ever seen in my life today. And obviously you saw it with Austin Wells, who does it nightly. Anytime he gets a chance to play, he makes a fool of himself. So Jake, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just so sick of watching these. Like, why do we have to play Ryan McMahon every day? Why do we have to play Anthony Volpe every day? The irony is that quite literally the best move Brian Cashman made was Jose Caballero, and he's not even playing. Like, I don't understand. I don't get it. I mean, Ryan McMahon looks like somebody who should have 30-plus home runs. We've seen that body composition before at third base. It's also, as you've brought up many times, a premium offensive position. And while
good.
Well, he does. He looks.
We should just hire Brad Pitt and put him at third.
Right?
Tom Cruise, put him at third base.
The dude's a model for what a home run like slugger should look like. But Ryan McMahon swings a pool noodle. I hate watching him play. I don't enjoy it. And then I have to hear from, the Yankee fans that literally think everything is all sunshine and rainbows. Oh, we only lost by 1. Like, so we're right there. Like, I don't give a rip, right? No, those people, and I see them all over Twitter, will tell you, well, Ryan McMahon is an upgrade over Oswald Peraza. Hey, guess what? You know who's an upgrade over Oswald Peraza?
Anyone?
Oswaldo Cabrera currently. And he's rehabbing a debilitating injury. Because Oswald Peraza had a glove, but he couldn't hit. Like,
yep, that was the case.
Like, I am so tired of hearing that. So what you're telling me is you've lowered expectations to the point where 217 is, yeah, that's cool for me. I'm okay with 217, a 316 on base, and a slugging below 400. How does that even happen? Ryan McMahon is 6'2" and 219 pounds. How is he not slugging above 400?
We should put Dwayne The Rock Johnson at third base. He'll look great out there. He'll be ripped. He won't hit a lick. That's essentially what it is. It's just somebody who looks like they're going to hit, and they don't.
I don't understand.
I thought it would be better. You shouldn't have.
I don't get it. It's almost, no, I'm not even going to say. It's not even. But the point being, we were right. Ryan McMahon. And the worst part about this is they added more money onto their payroll. So they're going to try and justify it as like, oh, well, we got rid of DJ LeMahieu, so we have to pay him, right? You have to pay that money, which I didn't agree with, remember? So you get rid of LeMahieu, right? And now McMahon is going to be $18 million a year.
16, I believe.
Or 16. No, that's right. Because he's literally half as much of him was Ke'Bryan Hayes. So I think we're going to look back at this if you're not already, we're going to look back at this and say this was stupid. It was literally low-hanging fruit. He was way cheaper than McMahon. The fact you literally had to give up those guys and then have to take on his full deal, awful. And not to mention, history tends to repeat itself. I mean, you had Charlie Hayes' father catching the game-winning pop-up in the World Series to break their last skid. And it's like, it was right there, but it's not even just that. He's a better third baseman defensively, and now he's a better hitter. And you and I said it, they could have fixed him. I hate it because now, every single time when I watch this with my parents tonight, every single time they went down to Jason Dominguez, Anthony Volpe, Ryan McMahon, I was like, okay, so they're not scoring in this inning. And I don't even have any issue with Jason Dominguez's bat. But when I see
His
Volpe,
bat's okay. His bat is okay.
When I see Volpe and McMahon, I'm like, they do not excite me at all. Like, I am so done. I'm so out on those two. I just hate that now it's $16 million that they're going to have to like figure out a way to move on from, because even though it would be as simple for the Dodgers as just getting rid of him and be like, we have a lot of money, the Yankees will do some weird thing where they're like, yeah, he's probably going to be our third baseman next year. It's like, why? He's not good at baseball.
Yep, spray cologne right on the turd. It's what they do. So I wanted to throw this comment up there. A member of ours actually dropped it in the live chat, and I just think it's too good to ignore. I just can't do it. So Scotty Boy, thank you. Obviously, really appreciate it for being here. Ninja Hot Dog says, I hate those positivity pushers who call us all doomers. So, mind you guys, we want to be positive too. Like we want to win the championship series, go on to the World Series, watch the Yankees pop champagne. I mean, it would be electric in here. That's what we want to see. But the reason for this, all this, you guys are doomers, you guys aren't real fans. The reason for this is because they're really mirroring exactly what this entire organization is about right now. Is that we used to do things a certain way, and that's all in the past. It's all old school. They want you to look at it the same way the Cowboys look at the 90s. Oh, that's all in history, and it's great history, and we want you to still buy our overly inflated season tickets because of that history. But we don't want to do anything like how they did it in history. We want to do it our way because we're smart. Yeah. We are much smarter. So the whole idea of this doomers thing is they're just going to wait at the finish line, and if things work out, they're going to say, see, guys, that's why we're a better fan than you, is that we were here the whole time, and they want to be clapped for, right? That's what they want. That's exactly the type of coverage Aaron Boone wants. It's what Brian Cashman wants to hear. It's what Hal wants. They don't take constructive criticism, and it's evident by how they answer questions in the media. Brian Cashman has lashed out at people, acting like he's won something of late. That's why he's so frustrated. He genuinely thinks, we should have won in 2017. We should have won since then. It's a crapshoot. It's not a crapshoot. It's you. It's the team. It's the organization. So obviously, guys, the reason that the whole doomers thing happens is that's the type of fan they want you to be. They want you to be someone that just puts the pom-poms on and says, we're all rooting for the kid Anthony Volpe. Jason Dominguez may be bad in left field, but it'll improve at some point. We just hope it's sooner rather than later. That's what they want from you guys. A totally unique fan to the Yankees that really has never existed at any point in history. It's disgusting.
Yeah, what he said. This team is really aggravating to. I can take the 6-3 loss. Okay, come back and win. I can't take a 1-0 loss at home. I don't. What are you doing? I mean, just really. And it's just the most pedestrian swings you'll ever see. I will say, because I did see in the comment section, not letting him off the hook. Who's that? Home plate umpire was absolute dog shit. Recycled dog shit.
Oh, did you like how Aaron Judge struck out? The best player in the game.
Yeah.
He struck out on 3 pitches, never swung. None of them were on the plate. And then I saw someone saying, well, they were great pitches. Yeah, you're absolutely right. They were pitchers. You know what pitchers are? Balls.
Gary, can you imagine?
They're pitches close enough that you should swing at. What's up?
Can you imagine, like, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander not getting the call? Can you imagine Patrick Mahomes getting just punched right in the face and just not getting a call?
Nope. It doesn't happen in any other sport. He's 6'7". That's what the broadcast said today. 6'7". And he can't get a call below his knees. I don't understand it.
It's unreal, man. And the problem is, because, that sounds like, you're making excuses. Well, my issue is it changes the entire at-bat, which they did a great job. Cone did a great job. Paul O'Neill with the Volpe swing. Just hire him at this point as the hitting coach. Like, are you freaking kidding me?
That was the worst swing I've actually seen Volpe take. I've actually never seen anything worse in my life. And that's saying
it wasn't
something.
Even
I've watched so much baseball.
He was breaking down his regular swing. He just, every single time, it's like death, taxes, Michael K. Reminding you how many times Joe Adele has been a failure. And
then
Buxton
the Yes
can't stay
broadcast
healthy.
saying, well, you know that Volpe's hips are going to be gone because he always just opens his front side. How many different times do you have to hear the broadcast say, oh, his front side's gone? So what do you think you should be working on? Is this rocket science that a professional baseball player is talking about?
Hasn't worked on this, he needs to go.
Dude, I don't know who could possibly be the hitting coach that can fix this.
Paul O'Neill. He's literally fixing it on the broadcast for free. He doesn't have to give that info.
Technically he could, but I don't want... Could you imagine if they hired him and we didn't get to hear him talk? That would suck.
Yeah. Well, maybe they would work out something where we get to hear him while he's coaching.
I would honestly pay for that.
Yeah.
Scotty Boy 26.
ESPN's trying to do it. You know that.
Why not? Or Fox, you have Ken Rosenthal just standing on Aaron Boone's chest in the middle of a game. Get out of the dugout. Ridiculous. Scotty Boy 26, who's been a member for a month, thank you for doing so, says the Yankees are a joke in Red Sox land, and rightfully so. Thank goodness for you guys. Keep me sane. We're a joke in Dodgers land as well. Remember going into this offseason how they were just... And Jake, you didn't like it, but they were basically telling us we didn't take you guys serious at all. Well,
I've changed my opinion. I've changed my opinion on that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I didn't like it because, I thought it was classless. Now, I genuinely don't care. I will actually take it a step further. I feel like other teams look at the way the Yankees play baseball, and they say they don't put in the work that we do. So how dare you even try to compete with me? You're not anywhere near on my level. And that's probably what the Dodgers saw. A team that cares about the fundamentals. A team that's willing to work counts. A team that actually swings, but not just for the fences, is actually willing to try and come through and have timely hitting. And I just think that's honestly what that was. And I get that. Be like, you're challenging me? I mean, it's kind of like, you're the... world heavyweight champion, and all of a sudden, in boxing, and somebody comes up to you, and it's just some punk, who he beat the guys he had to beat, but if that's the number one contender, and you don't feel like he's anywhere near your level, you're gonna look down on him. You're gonna be like, the hell? And another thing,
they need to flex our games off of national coverage. You remember how
good God,
a football team is we're great coming into the year, and then they lose their quarterback, or all of a sudden they start the season 0-6, and then what does the NFL do? They flex that team right off of the Monday. They're like, Monday Night Football, we're going to start this game at 4 Pacific.
Unless it's Monday Night Football later in the year, because they barely do flexing, and we have to watch Browns Raiders.
It's what it always turns out. But anytime you see Sunday Night Football, anything like that, you'll see them flex teams that really thought they were going to have respect in the middle of the year, and they don't earn it at all. They'll just like us, they'll go play the Red Sox, they'll go play Houston, they'll go play the Dodgers. Have we played any of those teams well? Nope.
Well, also,
do we deserve to make it seem like it's heavyweight fight? It's not a heavyweight fight. We're getting knocked
out. People are tired, not Yankee fans. Just people in general are tired of the Yankees, because it's why are we still talking about them like they're in the glory days when, they were in the World Series last year, but before that, right? They're nowhere near the same organization.
But people we beat the Royals and the Guardians. People aren't looking at the Yankees' pursuit and what they did last year as they overcame and got over the hump. I promise you, the Red Sox don't see it that way. The Dodgers, the way they were talking about us, do you think they ever would have uttered that word? They beat the Padres. They didn't say anything like that about San Diego.
Yeah.
Right? They beat them. They beat us. And yet, two totally different narratives. Why? Because they think two totally different things. They see what we see. They see a team that will go beat up on Minnesota, right? They've got their number. Good for you guys. But when you come play us, we're going to dunk all over you. So that's unfortunately what it is. Jersey Girl with the 5 says, should have put the squirrel in the lineup. Boone said it's right in front of us again. There is no way he said that.
Dude
is completely untethered from reality. What a great way to put that.
Oh, I love that. Dude, I love that word, untethered.
Untethered from reality.
You could just tell somebody is really smart, they have it up here, if they're ever dropping untethered in their vocabulary.
I'm going to throw that up on my whiteboard and see if I can get that in my vocabulary. Untethered, you just know you're making a great point.
Yeah,
Aaron Boone's a salesman. He really would, I can see a future for him in politics. I really can. just tell someone a totally different reality than what you're actually going to do, and then you just do it all again the next voting period, right? That's exactly what Yankees baseball is about. They're just going to tell you something. Oh, Judge is fine. Oh, no. Judge is hurt. No, oh, no, I'm fine. What are you talking about? Right? Total untethered, just a complete untethering from reality. No truth whatsoever, just nonsense. And Jake, you love to put it. It's like we put our helmets on and we just start left, right like robots. And
yeah,
it's an unfun way to play baseball. And I hope it changes. I don't know why it would change, but I guess we'll eventually see if it does. Alex Reyes with the 5 says we kept Rosario on the bench, who has 2 home runs. Interesting. I didn't know this. 2 home runs against Chapman, just for Grish and Rice to pull a Volpe. Our goose ain't even cooked is burnt.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never had goose before. I don't think I'd like burnt goose.
Yeah, I can hardly even like chicken. So
what?
No, I mean chicken's okay. I just don't like it. I just don't like it at home. I don't like chicken at home. Yeah.
Oh, you're literally the McDonald's. We have McDonald's at home, and you're like, nah, no, we don't.
No, we don't. You don't have McDonald's.
He's right though. I looked it up. No one on this roster can hit Chapman, except Cody Bellinger has a hit.
Okay.
Rosario has 2 home runs in 7 at bats, and Paul Goldschmidt has 2 hits. That's it.
It's disgusting. Yankee in Texas with the 5 says Red Sox had our number all year by taking advantage of our poor decision making, which is funny because it's exactly what we talked about with the Dodgers. They said just put the ball in play, they'll screw it up, and we did. Right?
Yep.
Boone goes to the bullpen because of analytics. Screw you, Boone. So obviously we're not in high spirits tonight. B. Rye with the 5 says, at what point is it enough? How much worse can Volpe be? He's hitting 184. He's slashing 184, 257, 385 versus righties. How does this not warrant a benching? Play cabbies. So it doesn't warrant a benching because of what I said earlier. They want to be right. And you know what you can do to look right at any point in the year? Just keep doing the same thing you're doing over and over again. Eventually it'll work. Eventually Volpe, but between now, Jake, and the end of the season, will hit some random big homer, probably against a team that's not very good. And they're going to say, that's what Volpe can do. He's almost at 20 home runs. What a great year. That's why, B-Rye. Because it makes us look like we don't know what we're talking about, and it makes them look like the professionals in the room. So, there's your answer.
They're going to finish the Marvel Cinematic Universe before Anthony Volpe gets benched.
He's in arbitration this offseason. I think we both expect him to be back. That's a shame. Mm-hmm. He doesn't deserve to be back here. He doesn't. I would just let him go in arbitration. I do not want him back here. Sorry. People can say we hate him. Whatever label you want to throw on me unnecessarily, go ahead and do that. Throw it.
I'd hate to be his agent. How do you even argue for him? What are you arguing? What is your angle? Oh, my client was a Gold Glover 2 years ago. You're going to get laughed out of the building.
That arbitration hearing is going to get ugly.
Oh,
I wouldn't even go to it. I wouldn't even go.
You know who I'll tell you, I think we might get something similar to Betances. I think we might. I'm not the biggest fan of the dude. I'm totally blanking on his name. Not the biggest fan of the dude, but
I'm trying to think who you're talking about.
Randy Levine.
Okay.
Remember when he shit on Betances? I don't even know how that repaired itself to the point where Dellin literally roots for the Yankees all the time. He's part of the Yes broadcast. Well, not the broadcast, but in the booth. Not the booth, the studio. Good Lord. But if Randy Levine was penny pinching when it came to Dellin, what the hell is he going to do with Volpe? This might be the loudest. This is probably going to be the loudest arbitration hearing ever.
Yeah, I mean, arbitration is always negative, right? If you're trying, I mean, it's like talking to a boss and be like, hey, man, I think I'm deserving of $7,000 a month. And all of a sudden your boss, imagine having an arbitration hearing about your salary at work. Your boss is just going to tell you you're useless, which is exactly what they're going to do. They're going to say you're a horrible hitter. You don't really have a ton of pop. You're not a 20 home run guy. You might hit 20 home runs, but you don't get any hits otherwise. So you're essentially just boom or bust trying to hit a home run every single at bat, all 500 plate appearances. You're not a power hitter. And that's what they're going to say in arbitration. So it is going to get crazy. I'd pay pay-per-view to be at that arbitration hearing.
Yeah. What's the thing that Reggie Jackson said, with negotiations? It's just basically like you're just hearing about how bad you are. That's all it is.
Right. Which
that
is
you're
why
just
I wouldn't
told
go.
Every single job that you did, everything you did, all the work ethic, everything that you put in, blood, sweat, tears. Then they're just like, oh yeah, you didn't do this, this, and this. This isn't good enough. This isn't good enough. And yeah, that's what that negotiation is for a player. It's brutal.
I'm curious to see what number they come up with, because I think the expectation is somewhere between $3.5 and $4 million. The fact that anyone's gonna pay him $4 million to play baseball
it's gonna be like 6. Remember I said that he's gonna get 6. He's gonna get 6 or 7. He's gonna get. I think he gets 6. I think he gets
$6 million. That's a rich man.
$6 million.
Insane.
And I think I would probably pay him 2 to be my backup.
Interesting. I'd pay him 0.
Well, I'm not against what you're saying. I'm saying if I had to give him something.
Oh, if you were forced. Yeah, I mean, you can
2.
Technically with arbitration, though, you don't just get to tell him what he's going to get paid. The league figures out what their number is, and they're like, okay, tell us, Volpe, what you think you're worth. The agent's going to obviously spit that out. And if you're like, we think we're worth 8, and then the Yankees go, yeah, you're worth 2, and then the league settles on 4.5. Well,
what is
they
Jazz
go with
getting
8.
in arbitration?
They go with 8.
He's
I
another
don't
one
know.
where it's like, I texted you during the game.
He'll probably get $20 million.
No way.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, because, I mean, if you think about it, he's going to show up to arbitration and say, I'm going to hit, how many home runs is he going to hit?
I mean,
his ops is going to be over 800.
are we really
That's
going to play
what they're
that game
building.
now? Are we just going to
No,
play
I'm
like...
not saying it's what should happen. I'm just saying
'Cause I
that
like
when
Jazz,
second
but-
basemen have ops over 800, they're going to look around baseball and say, how many second basemen do you know that have an ops of 810? Now, again, guys, I'm not telling you Jazz is like the player of the future. I'm just telling you how these negotiations are going to go.
I'll say
and they're
15.
going to prop up all that stuff. Yeah, I mean,
I'll say 15.
I mean, I guess so.
But I also, and I texted you this during, I kind of, when I watch him play, and again, I really like Jazz. I stuck my neck out for him. And don't get me wrong. I mean, this year, it's been frustrating. There are moments it hasn't. And he's shown you that he can be something in this league. I mean, that 1 month he had, it was crazy. But here's the deal. When I watch him play, I'm thinking that he's going to be in a trade for Ketel Marte. That's what I'm thinking. Like, I keep looking at him, and I'm not seeing him as the future at second base. So, because 1 month doesn't buy you much,
Oh, that's the thing, though. I do see in the comments, and I'm going to get to the super in just a second. I'll just real quick here. People said that Jazz is low IQ. This is their opinion, right? I'm not even sharing mine about his IQ. Yeah, guys, you can play a position in Major League Baseball, make a ton of mental mistakes, right? Throw a ball that Yao Ming wouldn't have caught yesterday, make a ton of errors. Go out there. If you have power and you steal a lot of bases and your ops is over 800, Jazz has shown he can be productive. The problem for him is he's not consistent at all. And you know what really what that just reminds you of? Every other player in the roster. Their ops is really high. They help us score a lot of runs in the year, but they never help you score the run that you really needed or wanted. So Jazz is going to go into arbitration, Volpe, same exact thing. They're going to go, I had 20 homers. My ops was this. And they're going to get the money that they want. And I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't pay a dime for nothing. None of it. MD with the 10 says, ever since 2018, LDS leaving CC in to face Kinsler, God, I missed that name, Boone has not had any touch versus Cora at all. Cora runs circles around Boone. Girardi was a better manager and Taction. So, Jake, we can both agree that Joe Girardi was a better manager. He wasn't a perfect manager. He had his flaws, and that's something that when you go forward, everyone just kind of acts like everything was roses in the past. but we never talked about Girardi like this. The conversation was never this about Girardi because he was more, okay, I might make a mistake, but here's my logic that you can think out as to why I made that mistake. We don't have any rhyme or reason for making the mistakes that we make. We just do it because you just assume they're going to do something stupid. You don't actually know what they're going to do. It almost feels like they don't know. But yeah, what do you think about this? Because I know you think highly of Girardi, but if I told you who do you want to be the manager of the Yankees, I don't think Girardi would have been your answer, even if you could. What do you think on this?
Yeah, I like Girardi. I do think what it's come down to, and I've said this before on here, and people gave me pushback, but I'm just being honest. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to sit here for the same reason with the OKC New York fan earlier. I'm not going to sit here and say that I didn't say this. Okay? Just because I wasn't on a podcast, and I do have essentially the advantage where I could totally lie to you, I'm not that person. So I would tell you that I didn't like the way it ended with Girardi. I thought it was a very bad look for future incoming managers. Like, honestly, if I'm a manager down the road and they fire Aaron Boone, I want nothing to do with this organization. I did not like the way they handled the Girardi thing. It would deter me from ever agreeing to be a manager for the Yankees if I was a manager, right? So that was my take. But before that, Girardi's doing a lot of the same things that Aaron Boone did with the bullpen, with the starters, right? Towards the end, he was starting to get closer to like taking guys out quicker. I feel like early on in his Yankees tenure, he let guys go a little bit longer, but he did the same thing as Boone. Here's the difference, right? Because there is this kind of, revisionist history, if you will. But Boone is a way worse version of the things Girardi struggled with. Boone is way worse about it. So if Girardi struggled with the bullpen, Boone's like 5 times worse than Girardi with the bullpen. If
it's over, it's pronounced at this point.
Yeah, if Girardi struggled with letting guys go beyond 100 pitches, Boone is 5 times worse than that. And I guess really the way I see it is this. And this is why like the league frustrates me as a whole. Robbie Thompson takes over. He's literally just he's exactly baseball mind. He is not an analytical guy. He is no different than Joe Girardi. Right? They just moved on from Girardi because they weren't playing well, and so they made that change. And the change looks like it worked, but I don't really think it was necessarily getting rid of Girardi. I think just they were playing bad baseball. Then they started playing good baseball. And what I don't like is now the league kind of made Girardi out like he can't cut it in 2025, and I think that's a load of shit.
I feel like he's never looked better than he does today. Yeah, if I'm sitting there and I'm Joe Girardi, I'm like, is this there? Fan or not, you're sitting in. You mean to tell me you're sitting in that front office? You're sitting there as Hal Steinbrenner, and you're thinking, I think the right decision was to go heavily analytical. Joe Girardi wasn't that way, and it wasn't perfect because you're now dealing with the exact person. If they're not going into analytics, guess what you get as the manager? Guess who's making the lineup, and guess who's deciding, we're going to bunt, we're going to steal, we're going to shift over here? The manager. It's coming from him. And exactly. So if you don't have a really good Hall of Fame level manager, they're going to get outmanaged. And I love the fact that the Super brought up that Cora's coaching circles. He's managing circles.
He is.
Over Aaron Boone. Really what's happening is that Alex Cora is showing that the human element can dominate analytics over the long term. And they have just completely ignored that fact, and they will continue to do so. And it's despicable. So Noble Demon Tim, who's been a member for 4 months. So Tim, thank you for doing so. We really appreciate that. Says Arthur Avenue is fed up with Volpe's inconsistencies. I mean, who wouldn't be at this point? Armando Gomez with the 2 says Volpe is Jose Iglesias, and his throws make us say, oh my God, Jose Iglesias is a far better player than Anthony Volpe. He just is. Yeah. And we're not at the early stages of his career anymore. He's more of a vet that's kind of bouncing around. Good player, but he wouldn't be a franchise cornerstone top prospect 2-3 years ago. So just ridiculous, obviously. So Armando, thank you for that. And Roman De Los Santos almost have PTSD reading De Los Santos at this point for the Yankees. Thank you for the 5. Says, do you think if we make the playoffs, they will fire Kaboom?
Kaboom? Oh, man.
Okay, so make the playoffs as in you're not talking about winning the division.
They're making
winning
the
the division would be running down Toronto. No. If they ran down Toronto, I think our coverage would be, oh, the Yankees did turn it on. They did flip the switch. They did. Remember that schedule that people had us read earlier? Well, they had to have held their own to do that. So that would be different. Does he keep his job in that case? I don't even think he should. I really think it all comes down to what they do when it matters. I think that should be how we judge the Yankees. If you guys consistently can't win the big games, I should be judging you negatively for that. So I will say, I think Aaron Boone's going to lose his job this offseason. I do. I don't think they're going to do it in the middle of the year. I think it's going to happen in the winter, and it's going to be mayhem. But I think it's long overdue, probably 2 to 3 years overdue. But I think the time is now. And obviously, we're going to see what happens in hindsight.
Yeah, we are definitely going to find out what happens in hindsight. There's no way they're missing the playoffs. I don't buy that. I really don't buy that. But whatever.
These
William,
nicknames for Boone are just historic.
I love
They're
the nicknames
so
for Boone, yes. William, I am late to the cast, but send down Volpe and Wells. I can't handle it. Yeah, I'm honestly... Wells had 2 home runs the other night, whatever. I'm going to let him take a pass. I mean, I still hate the base running mistakes. Like, Anthony Volpe isn't hitting at all, and there's somebody in his place. Like, that's the thing. Wells right now is basically kind of a rotational backup. Volpe is an everyday starter, and he's not good enough to be one. And so is McMahon. I want to bring McMahon more into this because I don't think he's good enough to be starting every day. I just don't. If
you think Caballero, there's a real justification either to play shortstop or third?
Absolutely. He should be in the lineup every day. Until I start to see him fall off a cliff, he should be in the lineup every day. You don't have a choice. See, this is where I feel like Girardi would do something creative, right? Joe Torre might do something creative. Boone just is going to just do status quo. Why are like the creative things considered so crazy when it comes to this organization?
They're reactionary. I'm telling you, this is the reason why Girardi actually was let go. I know they didn't say he was fired, but he was. He was fired. And part of that is that Girardi was actually, if you remember correctly, so I agree with you. There was some revisionist history. People acted like there weren't some bad things, but there were actually some good things. They were covered as bad things. He was calling out players. That is unacceptable, and you will not play if that's happening. They didn't like that. A team that wants to go to the direction of analytics is really, we're not going to freak out about the now because we're always looking towards the future. That's what analytics is built for, is to help you long term, to create a sustainable business model. And that's what the Yankees are. So when you mentioned, by the way, because William, I get it. You're very upset with Volpe. You're upset with Wells. And who could blame you? But really, we should try our absolute best not to put so much blame on the players and just understand no one's there to hold them accountable. No one. There's no one there with any type of leadership skills. And I'll tell you right now, when you have a group of men and no leader, we're going into war with no general. That's who we are. And you make mistakes, why would you learn from them? There's no one to zap the fence and tell you, no, you must learn this or you're not going to play for this team. We haven't done that with not a single player on this roster, not one. We've forgotten the outs 12 different times this year. We've gotten doubled up. We've seen it from Goldschmidt. We've seen it from Dominguez. We've seen it from everybody. No one sat an inning for it, Jake. And so we sit here in this Boston series and act like it's just going to change. Why would it change? So it's obviously gross.
Yeah, it's very gross. And then isn't a profit year better than winning for MLB franchise? Oh my God. I mean,
it is. It's definitely a win, right? As an owner of a business, making a profit is a great thing. I'm not going to act like I'm naive to that fact. Now, George Steinbrenner, did he care about profits? Yeah, he wants to make a profit with his business. But you know what comes first is winning, because it's an embarrassment if I don't win. That's the way he took it, and that's the way he moved. Did it create a situation where he was more reactionary maybe than he should have been in certain opportunities? Absolutely. No question. But I would rather have somebody who's too reactionary to their emotions trying to do the right thing than somebody who's trying to tell me they're doing the right thing and do it the same way for 15 years. That's what we're getting.
Yeah. And I love the way you said that because, I mean, they are business owners, right? And we can understand that. But that's what separates like a good sports owner. Like, yeah, okay, you run Walmart or you own, whatever, right? Like Chipotle. Like, but when you own a sports organization, you own a sports franchise. Yeah, there are fans. Like, Gary is a huge fan of Five Guys. But is Gary sitting there rooting for Five Guys, like, in the bottom of the ninth inning? No. He's not, like, cheering on the fry cooks. It doesn't work that way. This is an entertainment business, right? So it's no different than, actually, a better example is the WWE. If all of a sudden, and I've seen this because I used to follow this stuff, all of a sudden, a wrestling business like the WWE or TNA or whatever, they start cutting their talented guys because they don't want to pay them. And guess what? Gary, this happens. Oh, this happens. And people complain. What ends up happening is the product suffers. Sometimes guys get cut from the roster during a storyline that's already been put in place. So you know what they do? They just kind of take a race thing to the whiteboard and they just are like, yeah, we're just going to act like everybody watching TV is a total Nimrod and didn't realize what we were building.
Because business came before the product.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line, is that we're going to try and win. Let's not get it twisted. We're trying to win a World Series, and the Yankees are trying to win a World Series. No one in baseball is not trying. Unless they're trying to actively tank for draft purposes, that's different. But the average team is trying to win. So you're not doing anything special by suggesting you're trying to win, but are you willing to do anything that's necessary to win? Are you willing to say, I was wrong over here, I need to go a different direction? No. The answer is absolutely not when it comes to the Yankees, and that's why we sit in the same situation, today that we'll probably be in 2 or 3 years down the road, and that's unfortunate. And Christoph with the 5 says, Judge not being right kills us. Do you think he might be more hurt than the Yankees are letting on? I'm starting to doubt that he will return to the outfield. I really don't think so.
No.
Based on what Judge said, I don't think this has anything to do with injury. Aaron Judge has really hardly been a great player for us in big games. Let's just call a spade a spade. Aaron Judge doesn't normally walk into a Boston series or a Houston series and set it off. He just doesn't. He doesn't normally walk into a division series or a championship series and rake and look like the Aaron Judge that we see in May, June, or July. He's probably going to win the MVP this year, Jake. But in these games, and I get this, we lost 1-0, and so you'd like to think, okay, well, Aaron Judge just must not be right. In what year was Aaron Judge setting it off in these type of games? He wasn't. So he's got to be better. Our roster has to be better. Our management has to be better. Our ownership has to be better.
Yeah, and I know that there's like this idea out there that he is better when he plays in the field. But when you look at the splits, he has a better batting average than when he's been in right field. 297
really?
To 288, 435 on base to a 401, over 1,000 OPS to a 999 OPS. It's 357 batting average balls in play is the highest among all of the splits. He played in left field and he was horrendous, right? 143, 543. That's 20 plate appearances. He just did not like left field, apparently. Center, and he didn't play as many games in center. Obviously, he's played more in right. But in center, he hit 309, 420 on base, and a 1,100 OPS. So, yeah, him being a DH isn't really the issue. I see that a lot, and I just wanted to kind of shoot that down. Because there are people that kind of over-analyze things like that. At this point, I honestly think today what hurt Judge was that home plate umpire. Awful. Really put him in a bad spot every single at-bat. He was not letting him actually take pitches.
Today, I would agree with that. I just wanted to bring up the point. Aaron
Yeah.
Judge has never been good in big games. He's
No,
never been good in a big game, and
Well, I
these
won't
are
say
big
never.
games.
I won't say never. I mean, he's had some moments during the regular season. October,
And-
that's a different story. But
Right.
like, I get it though. I get why people are upset. I understand it. Like, you need somebody to pick you up in a game like this. You get 3 hits, and it's just it's a frustrating performance. I think tonight I think the umpire kind of took over those at bats. It's weird. It was the first time I watched all of Judge's plate appearances, and I really came away saying, I don't feel like he had a chance, and I didn't feel like it was really his fault. And I normally never
if you
say
see
that.
4 pitches in an at bat, 3 of them are called strikes, and you're out, and they're all balls exclusively, and it's plastered all over Instagram. If you guys didn't see it, it's very easy to find.
Oh yeah.
No at bat should end with not a single ball unless you swung at 3 straight pitches out of the zone, which is obviously embarrassing. And we've seen that before, and you can live with it and move on. But what I can't live with is a player of Aaron Judge's caliber, who's going to win the MVP this year more than likely, to not get an opportunity to swing because not a single strike was thrown, and he walks back to the dugout and out. That's unacceptable. It is. And so what I want to see these next 2 games from Aaron Judge, I'm assuming the zone won't be that bad as we saw today. It won't be. I feel comfortable saying that. You need to perform. You do. And the time is not next week or 2 weeks from now, because 2 weeks from now, people will go, oh, this is great. Aaron Judge is hitting. We need him to hit today. Today. It is just that simple. So I wanted to get that out there. Peace Geek with the 5 says, I'd rather this team miss the playoffs than be embarrassed in the playoffs. At least maybe this organization will admit the issue and deal with it. This is exactly what we talked about earlier, Jake, isn't it? Is that people are saying you're a bad fan for rooting for it not to work, promoting change. That's why people are rooting for the team to fail, is because they think it's the only opportunity that they'll actually do something. But Jake, will they? That's the question. It's interesting.
I understand where people are coming from, but I got to push back. I think if they make the playoffs or not, if they lose in the wild card round, like, Boone is gone. There's no chance they keep him.
What about
None.
the division series? If they win the wild card round and go into the division series, is
I
Boone
still don't
safe?
think that's enough.
I agree with you. The problem that Peace
No, I mean, I
is
think he
really
still gets
saying is he
fired.
doesn't. Right. So you think he would be fired?
Yeah, like, unless they have a really tight Game 7 battle in the ALCS that they lose, like, I mean, I could see him getting fired even if they get to the ALCS, truthfully.
I wish that were true. And mind you, I did just earlier in the show say I think he's going to be fired, but fans are worried that we're going to be unwilling to pull the plug if we get too close to the sun here. That's
Oh my
what people
God.
are worried about. What's up?
A Groundhog Day reference in the comments section.
Oh my God.
You ever see
Yankee
Groundhog
fan-
Day?
No, I've never seen it.
What?
No.
Oh, it's great. It's probably... I'll never forget, my dad put it on and was like, you're going to watch this. And I'm like, I'm so tired of watching all your old movies. Like, I want to watch modern stuff. Because my parents loved putting on those old, like, 80s films and whatnot.
Right.
Nah, Groundhog Day is that good. It's very, very good.
Okay, well, I'll put it in the rotation. I've been watching movies of late. Yankee Fangirl for Life with the 5 says, I hate when Boone doesn't bring in pinch hitters in the 7th and 8th when we have men on and the bottom of the lineup is next, but only to start something. Bottom of the 9th. Well, you know, it almost seems like the 9th inning is where we throw our prayer, right? It does. Our 9th innings at Yankee Stadium feel like our last hurrah, right? Our last breath. Instead of everyone get on your feet, we're going to have a rally. It doesn't feel like that at Yankee Stadium right now. So, yeah, it's disappointing. Jake, what do you think about the strategy when it comes to the 7th, 8th, and 9th?
Yeah, I didn't love it. I immediately said it when I was, I think I complained to you about it. I complained to my folks about it. I don't understand how you put in Stanton to pinch hit for McMahon, and then basically what you're going to do now is you're going to have Caballero play third, so he doesn't get in that bat. And now Austin Wells is going to go lefty-lefty. Now, I understand why you'd want essentially Ted Williams going up against Aroldis Chapman. What I don't get is why Trent Grisham now is up, because I like Trent Grisham a lot, but against a lefty, he has been neutralized, right? Trent Grisham should have been pinch hit for, and it was already brought up, but Ahmed Rosario, who has 2 home runs against Chapman. But they should have also waited to use Stanton in the 9th instead of the 8th. I didn't get that.
Yeah, broadcast ripped it. I ripped it at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
There's no logical explanation for why Aroldis Chapman was an option against a right-hander the previous inning. Made no sense. And then you're like, I can't see this at bat from McMahon against a righty, a lefty at Yankee Stadium. You don't think you have a better chance. And they're like, no, Volpe, you're going to stay in there and hit righty on righty and look like a fool. And then we're going to have you go out there, take the lefty out to go righty on righty. And then the next inning, they're going to bring in the power lefty. We're going to leave the lefty in. We play dumb baseball. Nobody can tell me otherwise. This is just not smart baseball. It's gross. Apex with the 2 said they need to miss playoffs, only way for change. So there you have it. That people are worried that it's got to be bad, horrible, embarrassing, a bad business, right? Not getting into the playoffs, not able to make that extra money in order to have a firing. So, and FIFO with the 2 says robot umpires next year. Tired of the blind guys. I've never heard anyone say the blind guys before, but
that is all right. That is funny.
Yeah,
that is
the blind
funny.
guys.
The
Ninja
blind
Hot
guys.
Dog with the 5. And by the way, guys, for those of you who did leave us a voicemail, because we do have one tonight for our diamond level, we are going to do that at the end of the Super, so we really appreciate that. Ninja Hot Dog with a 5 says the organization was so ignorant. They didn't think to change anything after the Dodgers scouting report, and that scouting report was put the ball in play and they'll crap their sheets, and they did. And obviously the Yankees didn't do anything to fix that. They look like the exact same team. The competition is bashing on them, and they don't care. Yeah, Jake, do you think this group cares? Like, if you really... I know they want to win because it makes you look really good. Everyone looks good when they're a part of winning. But do you get the sense that they don't care, or they don't care as much as previous groups? Because I will say, at some point when you work at a business and the boss doesn't really... It's not life or death to get a good result. Maybe you're comfortable giving less effort. I know Yes Network brought up today, he said the Red Sox play really hard. No one's ever said that about us. Not one other broadcast. I've listened to many. No one has ever said on our broadcast or any other, these Yankees, they just play their hearts out every day. Have you ever seen that?
No. Nope. No, I've seen moments where they do. When they started stealing more and tagging up, and yeah, sometimes they'll have an occasional like really nice play where they charge, whatever. But no, today was all Max Fried. Like, if literally because it's a team sport, it's hard to just give one player all the praise. Max Fried was the entire team today. His defense was really good. His pitching was really good. I mean, I know he walked 3 batters. I still think very questionable umpiring and very one-sided. Max Fried's not getting the same calls that Bayo's getting on the other side. So, kind of put him in a tough spot. I understand they're, one's a lefty, one's a righty. So I get that. There's a difference, but it still affected Fried. That said, he was the team today. And I mean, I say defensively because, he made a couple nice plays in the field. And I don't take that for granted because we've seen now, 3 pitching errors in the last, 3 weeks? That's a ton of errors, dude. Pitchers don't get errors like that. That's not, normal. So, yeah, I just, for me, I get what you're saying, and I totally agree with it. I think right now, the one dude that, I mean, I want to watch Stanton, obviously. But the one dude who's all around the embodiment of what it meant to be a Yankee before that prestige was kind of wiped away in the last 15, 16 years is Ben Rice. Ben Rice is exactly what it means to be a Yankee, in my opinion. He's one of those homegrown guys, works his tail off, not good enough, right? He tells you he's not good enough. Last year, he shows you some moments, whatever. What does he do this offseason? I'm going to add 10 pounds of muscle. Now he's good enough. And guess what? He's going to be good enough. And then all of a sudden, Stanton comes back and LeMahieu comes back and Ben Rice is on the bench. And so you have people on Twitter that are like literally calling us out for suggesting Ben Rice could ever play third or even trying anything out to try to get a really good player
dare you guys
on the field.
Try and be creative. I know you don't know he can play third. How dare you even ask if he can?
Exactly.
People are very upset. Crazy.
So now we're seeing what happens when Ben Rice plays every day uninterrupted. And I just look at that triple yesterday and I'm like, if that's not Ben Rice in a nutshell, if you were wondering what Ben Rice is to this team, that is Ben Rice. He is hauling ass to get a triple on that. I don't feel like everybody on the team gets that triple because I think some guys would have slowed down. It looked like, Gary, he was going to make the play last night, right? So the ball hits the wall. It looks like he's just going to field it cleanly off the wall. Ben Rice is watching, and he sees the ball get away. And you know what he does? Even though he's not the best, he looks at Rojas, and Rojas says, come here. How many times have we seen? I mean, Jason Dominguez got thrown out standing up at third because he wasn't paying attention, right?
Yep.
Ben Rice is exactly what I want to see a Yankee be. And unfortunately, there aren't many of those guys on this roster right now. There are not many of these guys in the lineup. And when you're starting to see just his confidence is building, well, unfortunately, not everybody else is following him. And you saw that last night was really telling. When Ben Rice gets that triple with one out and no one can bring him home, that told me all I needed to know about their chances in that game. And then it told me all I needed to know about their chances today. And I told you.
Better leadership, because I'll tell you right now, Jake, as excited as you are about Ben Rice, he will turn into exactly the rest of the roster if you let him linger around poor leadership long enough. Because you know what will happen? Ben Rice will struggle. He'll struggle for 3 weeks. He'll go through a 2-week stretch where he goes 0 for 25. And all of a sudden you go, man, Ben Rice is now loafing it over to first base. He's making mental mistakes out in the field. You know why?
Remember when he called them out?
Nature. Who?
Ben Rice?
Yeah, and then people asked us if he was being punished. So what happens when they buzz the fence? Eventually, if you're punished for doing something correct, which in that moment, he was exactly right. Mm-hmm. And people were wondering if he was getting in trouble for being honest. And
that's how you know how far they've fallen.
As time goes on, thank you. As time goes on, if you're the outlier by just being the honest voice in the room, by saying this is garbage, we have to play better baseball and that's it. No one cares what we have to say. Go hit. Go cover the base. Do what you're supposed to do. Do your job. Now, that type of coverage, if you get criticism for that type of coverage, then 2 years down the road and you're still on this team, you won't be that way. You either won't be that way or you won't be on the team. And so this is the reason why I want better leadership, because I want players like Ben Rice to be able to stay the way they are, the way that it should be, which is high effort, high output players that will play anywhere, no ego. So I absolutely love it. Beast Mode with the 2 says Crochet is pitching tomorrow. Yeah, please do not remind us. Says yikes with the emoji. We don't see a lot of emojis in the supers, but really appreciate that. Yeah. Thank you.
I love Mitchell, it because that emoji tells a story.
It sure does. I don't even know if I've seen that emoji.
I'm just like...
Right. With the 5 from Mitchell, says Yankees organization in one word is delusional, lulled by the siren song, oh God, of algorithms.
We don't like that word.
Yeah, algorithm is the worst word. For content creators, you never want to hear the word algorithm. And John with the 2 says, is Rosario on the team? He's like Ben Rortvet. We don't know where he's at. Why not hit him in the 9th? We don't know. I'm sorry, John. We don't have an answer.
Words it. Is he on the team? Because I'm not seeing him. Like, as far as honestly, to be fair, like, he was out there, like, and actually people complained about it. Mm-hmm. He was outside. Did you see this? He was outside the dugout. Like, every single time there was a hit, he would, like, get out of the dugout and be like, yeah, like, he'd get all pumped. How are you complaining about that? I want that guy on my team. They need that guy.
Not everybody needs a microphone, so you can just...
Well, that's true.
We had 3 hits the whole night. How many times did you get out of the dugout? Twice? Who cares?
Yeah. Ridiculous. Well, that too.
DP with the 2 says Caballero was 3 for 4 versus Bello. McMahon 0 for 4 with 3 punchies. Beautiful. Why use data when you can just punch it into the algorithm and let it spit it out? It'll give you the answer. So I appreciate that, DP. Thank you. And Michael with the 5 says, if Judge is serious about winning a World Series, should he demand a trade? No. He needs to. You can't be upset that the team's not doing anything against good teams and in winning time when you yourself consistently don't perform in October, which, by the way, Jake and I both predicted eventually is going to turn the other way. But you don't get to be like, oh, this group around me is the problem when you're not part of the solution in these big games. So Aaron Judge has to play better in these type of series consistently. And then once that's happening, we can open the door for a conversation of getting a better group around him. Because, I mean, Jake, I don't know how you feel about that, but Aaron Judge, it's not like he's setting it off in these big games.
No, I agree with what you're saying. I just saw Boone Cocky, and I was like...
I'm telling you, I don't even know. I don't know if you guys know the streamer Queso. I feel like our comment section is turning into his comment section. I know you don't watch him, but he is very funny, and he has got a great audience. So thank you guys, obviously, for being here. We've got almost 700 people in here. Guys, make sure you like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. Giving away a Yankees jersey of your choice at 10,000 subs. If you're on us with Apple Podcasts, Spotify, drop us a 5-star review, hop over to YouTube, subscribe over here. Helps us out a lot. Apex with the 2 says, why do I feel Warren gets us the W tomorrow? I have no idea why you would think that. I don't think it. Could they win tomorrow? Absolutely. Any team in baseball could win their game tomorrow. Anyone who's playing. But the Yankees just have proven to me I can't trust them in any big game that they have to win. And Jake, I'm kind of in agreement. Is Dustin May pitches the final game of this series? That's the only game I genuinely think the Yankees are going to win. So,
and they can't get swept because that, to me, like,
oh boy.
I mean, it's already bad enough. But yeah, I'm not feeling too great about. I'm sorry. I think he is. I think Crochet is one of those Yankee killers that you already, like the first time you see him, you're like, oh, he's going to be a problem. You know who he reminds me of? Dallas Keuchel. Like when he went up against the Yankees, you just knew, oh, okay, this is going to be one of those, we get one hit the entire freaking time.
Cliff Lee, same deal. Anytime I saw Cliff Lee, I knew it was going to be a nightmare. I hated when we faced Cliff Lee.
I'll never forget that wild card one-off playoff game against Keuchel when Tanaka pitched lights out and he still got the loss because the Yankees were so pathetic and they couldn't get a hit off Keuchel.
We can't. How many games have we lost? And you're like, this is the big game. We've looked good all year. We hit 300-plus homers. We had a super bullpen. Then we get to the playoffs, and then you're like, our pitching's actually held their own, but we just can't score. We can't score the important run. We just don't. When I think of clutch run scoring, honestly, when I think about it, I think Raul Ibanez, the two-homer game, and I also think the Gary Sanchez double into the right center gap, and the game's tied, right? The Yankees lead, whatever it is. That's the last time I remember the Yankees genuinely scoring important runs. So it's sad. And it's something that hopefully changes. And Jake, I had no idea. You were talking about a super chat here. Michael McDonald with the 2. Thank you for being a member. Really appreciate the 2. Says, Boone cocky, noun, when Boone makes the Yanks lose. Really appreciate you ingraining that into our vocabulary now. Great. Thank you, Michael. Really appreciate it. And Ghost Rider.
So many people have no idea what that means, and there's a lot of people that do, and it's the funniest thing ever.
No, we've got an older audience. I'm pretty sure most people definitely know what it means. And Ghost Rider with the 10 says, Gary and Jake, I really enjoy your guys' chemistry. The best. Much success moving forward. Ghost Rider, thank you for the 10. Thank you for investing in the channel. You guys have been awesome today. Obviously, thank you for being here. You don't have to spend an hour and a half of your Friday watching a post show for the Yankees, but maybe they don't deserve it. But we're going to be here in win or loss. We've proven we'll do that consistently. And you guys have proven to be a great audience that shows up in droves when we lose. That's for sure. Especially
the chemistry, I'll tell you right now, you know how you build chemistry, or at least how you know that you have chemistry with somebody? If you go on a live stream and you play a horror game.
Yep.
Guys, I'm telling you, somewhere, I don't remember where I posted it, you can find Gary freaking out, screaming like a girl, because we were playing the scariest game. It was Outlast Trials. If you guys want to hear Gary screaming, there you go.
We can find the clip. It's somewhere. It's definitely somewhere.
We'll find it.
And Jose's G Insight with the 2, also another emoji in the name. I don't know. They're coming out of nowhere. Home cooking is cold and heads are down. It's sad. What a... Tell you what, his profile picture isn't sad. He's much happier. That profile picture doesn't do this game justice at all.
Dude.
But Jose, thank you for the super. Really appreciate it.
That was Stefan's voicemail yesterday.
I know. We tried to turn Stefan up, but it just wasn't happening. Ryan with the 5 says they need to let go of the entire roster at this point, and no one, even Judge, should be safe. So obviously Ryan is not very happy with the lack of performance in big games. And I don't blame you for your frustration. Obviously, I don't agree to that extent. I think it's the leadership. I think when the leadership and you cut off the head, I know some people think that, just a new head will grow back. But they need a new operation, a new operating system, and just clean house. These players are not this bad. I promise you, Austin Wells is not this stupid. He's not. Jason Dominguez is not this dumb. He's not. Did he make a stupid play? Absolutely. Have they done stupid things repeatedly all year? Absolutely. To the point where you might say, these players might actually just be that dumb. But no manager, no Bobby Cox, no Joe Girardi, no Joe Torre, none of these. They would never watch these mistakes long term and then just let players just put on the pinstripes, go play. They wouldn't let it happen. So I don't blame you for the frustration. Doesn't surprise me, though, that obviously some people feel this way. And Aroma with the 10, I know Aroma said that they were going to the game tonight, if I remember correctly. Says, just got home from tonight's embarrassment. There you have it. I think I saw it on Twitter. The ump absolutely blew, but they lost because they are designed to hit home runs or lose, period. The boos for Volpe were deafening. Buffoon must go immediately. There's always a nice little dessert there at the end that Boone is a buffoon. And I couldn't really tell. I didn't have the game that loud, so I couldn't tell how loudly Anthony Volpe was being booed. But you'd like to believe that his bed's made now in New York. I think we've reached the point now where even if you saw a big homer tomorrow, does it really change the way you perceive Anthony Volpe? I don't think anything can change, Jay. I just think we're just wasting time now.
Nope. Yeah, it's just total waste, especially if Caballero's not going to be in the lineup when he has good numbers against whoever they're going up against. I'll say this. Can you imagine if we had, what's his name? Is it Paul Allen, the announcer for the Vikings? Remember I was telling you about him?
Oh, you talking about you cannot throw that football across the field. Are you talking about the one that Brett Favre threw?
You could take a knee and kick a 54-yard field goal.
Oh, I feel like I would be the same way if I was in the booth. Now, if I was standing next to another person that maybe isn't cut from the same cloth, they may try to reel it back in.
Oh, man. It would be hard to be in that booth. Dude, I was having a hard time watching it like a normal human being without saying, like, just losing my mind, you know? And it's so funny, dude. There's so many of those. Guys, I'm telling you, if you get a chance after this, look up the Vikings announcer. He has like a reel, and it's just like they lost the playoffs to was it Josh McCown and the Cardinals back in the day? And he's like, yeah, no, this can't happen. And then the one, remember the Sam Darnold one against the Rams?
Oh, you're talking about the field goal? The field goal where he's like, yes. Is that the one you're talking about where he's just freaking out?
No. So he thought... Yeah, I guess he thought that they knocked the ball away. It was 4th down for the Cardinals, and they lost in the playoffs on a game-winning touchdown, and he thought he didn't catch it. And he's like, yeah, no.
I'm going to go look it up.
Oh, dude. And then the one, you know, the Sam Darnold one. Throw it, man.
Yes, of course. That one was hilarious. And he was having a good year, and it was kind of bouncing back. But I need to go, first of all, I cannot believe the names I'm looking at in these super chats. I'm going to throw Lonely Satellite back up on the screen, but this chat is just too good in our live. It just can't be ignored. Michael McDonald, who's a member here at Yankees Unloaded, says, yeah, I love Volpe, but it's time. It's like putting a beloved pet down.
Yeah. I'm not going to have a comment on that, but
I'll have a comment. That's hilarious.
That is
so
funny. Yeah. It's to that point, you know, it really is at this point. I don't want to watch him anymore. And if this is entertainment, you know, are you not entertained? If I ever got asked that by someone in the Yankees front office, like, no, I'm not entertained at all. At all.
Well, let me ask you this. If the Yankees were invented, I think this is the question of the year that just needs answering. If the Yankees, their inaugural season was in 2019, how big of a fan base do we have then? We've never seen anything since that point other than excuse-making, lying, and poor fundamentals since that date.
Yeah.
How big would the fan base be? It's New York, right? Then they would have a big fan base,
the
certainly.
Yankees,
Mets have a big fan base.
They siphon their history as the lifeblood of what makes the organization run, what makes the fan base devoted. Because when people watch the New York Yankees in 2025, they get you connected to the past. The Yes broadcast has named that Yankee. They'll bring up guys that you've heard, and they'll have former players. It's all siphoning from the past. It's all
cool
about
with,
the past.
As long as you're willing to tap into the same type of mentality. If you're willing to just talk about players that played on the 1998 team and, greatest baseball team of all time. Wait, you need to download our Gotham app, right? Gotham Sports.
You know who does that? Oh, man. The New York Football Giants. I hear it all the time from their fans. It feels like every year they're honoring the Super Bowl roster. It's hilarious. It'll be like, it's their 11th anniversary, their 12th anniversary, their 13th.
They're coming out there to put on another jacket. Oh my God. It was okay. We get it.
And then they'll come on. They'll have like somebody like whatever, and be like, yeah, this is back when Giants football was good. And they'll be like, yeah, but you know they got some guys. And then like the fans are like, no, we don't have anybody. Daniel Jones is nothing like Eli Manning. And it's just,
I would agree. I think, by the
funny.
way, you're going to see, I see it in the comments right now. I think Caballero starts tomorrow. I know that
he better.
Maybe hopes aren't very high on that. I just know definitively there's no possible way Caballero doesn't play tomorrow. I just think he plays. And Lonely Satellite, very interesting photo here. Thank you for the 5. Says, really enjoying your commentary, fellas. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Lonely
Appreciate
Satellite, thank you for that. We really appreciate it. And Jake, we need to get to these voicemails because I know we have one.
One, yeah.
Yeah,
well, yes.
We need to listen to this. I'm sure you vetted this. Is it?
I did not actually.
Oh,
but
okay.
It's Ninja Hot Dog.
Okay,
I don't think Ninja Hot Dogs is going to be dropping the most heinous things that we've ever heard. So before we do, just reminder, if you guys want to leave a voicemail, you can. You just have to become a Diamond level member. And to do that, I guess we just found out today, YouTube, and we were complaining because this is what Gary and I do. YouTube doesn't have a button that says upgrade or become a Diamond level member. They have a See Perks button. So if you see that, you have to click on that, and then you can upgrade through that. I know, stupid, not intuitive. UI is not on point. And if you're a developer like my father, then you definitely will be complaining about the way it's set up. But that is how it's done. So, if anybody wants to do that, obviously you will get a chance. We're going to be doing this after every show. If we have voicemails, we'll always check ahead of time. We prefer the voicemails are done before the show, but if they're done during the show, as long as it's not during our voicemail section, we can get to it, vet it, all of that. So let's one sec. Let's let it rip.
I'm almost scared.
Yeah. Well, actually, you continue talking because I have to get this thing.
So Jake is working on it. So yeah, guys, again, it's perks. It shouldn't be perks. If I was leaving these voicemails, I'd be cursing up a storm. I'll be honest with you. I hate watching this. I hate it. I hate having to pretend that Anthony Volpe is a good baseball player because he's young. Oh, look, there he is. I hate it. He's just the kid. He's not a kid. No one's ever called me a kid when I was 24 years old. No one. It's never happened before. I podcast for a living. No one has ever called me a kid. Never.
All right,
they call me
ready?
sir. Yeah, I'm ready. Let it rip.
Extra salty's like, he needs to be gone. That was obviously I had to bring that up because I hadn't had the voicemail thing loaded like I thought. I didn't want to give anyone's number away. So, all right.
Here, this is the real one because I got interrupted when I was trying the first time. 1-0 loss. Unacceptable. 1-0 loss. And we only got 3 hits. Our offense is incompetent against good teams. I don't know why they haven't tried to replace any of the infield, and they won't even try using Caballero still, even though Volpe and McMahon are just striking out. It makes no sense. Their starter even got to go 7 innings. He's our best guy. He only went 6, and I don't know why. It's unacceptable, but these guys can't go long term. And it's really frustrating. We can't hit against anyone who's good, and we're going to lose so many games, and we won't do well in the postseason, and we won't even win this series. It sucks.
Very well put.
It's an objective fact that we won't win the series. It's now done. And also, the mention of the infield. I think what needs to be said is that we're married to our infield now. Outside of first base, because first base, we've got Paul Goldschmidt. Jake, you've talked about the defense. It's a little overrated. The numbers suggest so. It's not.
Ben Rice had a good play today.
Right. First base, Ben Rice, you can make the argument that Ben Rice can just play first base full time next year if you want to, right? Protect the bat and throw him over at first. But we don't have any solutions for we didn't get Bregman the way that Jake wanted to, right? And we didn't do that. We're married to Ryan McMahon. Ryan McMahon is on this roster, not just this year to just crap the sheets, next year and the year after that. He will be your third baseman. So they're either going to have to trade him somehow and convince the rest of the league that you should trade for this player. He couldn't play in New York or Colorado. You should come take this player off our hands. They're not going to do that. So then you look up and say, well, Anthony Volpe. Anthony Volpe is going into arbitration. The Yankees aren't going to want to, they're not going to go get rid of him. They're going to go through arbitration, and guess who's going to be back next year? Anthony Volpe, right? Guess who else is in arbitration? Jazz Chisholm. They're not going to let him go for nothing. And Jake, you've said that there's potential that he gets traded. Okay. But 2 of the 4 guys in the infield are stationary. They're not moving. So there's no real reason to believe it's going to improve because of the decisions that they just made at the deadline. They made moves at the deadline to bring in Caballero and Rosario, one of which is a better option at shortstop today, and they won't play him. So what it tells you is that even if we have better options, which the Yes broadcast has said, who do you want to play shortstop? We don't have a better option than Anthony Volpe. We do now, and we still don't see them play. So there's your answer. We completely lack accountability, and it's exactly why we get what we get. So, have the floor, Jake.
No, I agree completely. It's really frustrating. I hate, to your point, and actually, I'm going to take this a step further when it comes to, DJ LeMahieu, right? I just can't stand how we were talking about, oh my God, $15 million a year. And then he actually starts hitting, they get rid of him, whatever. Idiotic, I thought, but whatever. $15 million you get rid of, you still have to pay him. And now you're going to have to pay McMahon 16. So it's like, instead of being smart and like, okay, after LeMahieu, maybe don't give 15, 16 million to just anybody, right? They're like, oh, I have an idea. Let's go and get Ryan McMahon, who we believe is going to hit more home runs in New York than he did in Colorado. and he's a good glove. Well, so was Peraza. And honestly, the way McMahon is hitting, the way his batting average continues to drop, how much better is he going to be? Who knows, right? I don't know. I don't know what he's going to finish with the Yankees this season. I will say it until I'm blue in the face. They absolutely blew the layup. They were already in talks with the Pirates. They literally get Bednar, but they don't go and get Ke'Bryan Hayes. I will never understand why they chose Ryan McMahon over Ke'Bryan Hayes. And the people that said McMahon, well, the Yankees have liked McMahon for a while. He hits home runs. What home runs? He has one. Ke'Bryan Hayes doesn't hit home runs, and he has two.
Should we have even been in the position to have to go get Ke'Bryan Hayes to go be the third baseman of the New York Yankees?
Well, no.
He shouldn't be here either. It just kind of goes to show you that the Yankees really put themselves in a position based on their budget, by the way. You said you wanted Alex Bregman. They didn't go do that. Why?
I hate that they didn't get Bregman.
We lost Juan Soto, and then they turned around and said, well, we're going to sprinkle it around the roster. They acted like, oh, he was just a blessing in disguise. Okay, great. Now what are you going to do with the rest of the money? We're going to trade. We're going to send Cody Poteet over to Chicago and just take the $25 million. Ended up being a great move, right? We covered that. We bring in Paul Goldschmidt. He's been horrible against righties, but nuclear against lefties. Okay, great. Well, then Ben Rice has to go out there and perform. So you need to say, well, do we have a shortstop and a third baseman that warrant being a Yankee for the foreseeable future? The answer was no. It was no before the season started, and it's no right now. And you actually just said, why didn't you go get Ke'Bryan Hayes? Ke'Bryan Hayes has no business being the third baseman of the Yankees. And even though you're absolutely right, in comparison to Ryan McMahon, it's a much better player. Much better. And that tells you how bad it is. So the Yankees have no business having deadline pickups just filling in at third base, at shortstop. People are asking Caballero to be the starting shortstop of the New York Yankees. Do you guys really even think this should be a possibility? Of course it shouldn't. That's how bad it is. We've screwed up shortstop. We now have a third baseman completely screwed up in here for the next 3 seasons. Second base, we're going into arbitration and people aren't sold on our second baseman. And first base is an expiring contract that probably isn't even going to be Ben Rice, because Ben Rice is probably going to be your catcher.
Mm-hmm. And
we just don't know what we're doing.
The Red Sox are back, by the way, because what did the Red Sox do when they were here, when they solidified themselves as a pain in the Yankees' ass? They went out and got Daisuke Matsuzaka. They went after guys that the Yankees were interested in or should be interested in. Keep that in mind. The Red Sox have Alex Bregman, right? They have Garrett Crochet, who the Yankees were trying to apparently trade for at the deadline last year, and trying, who knows what that even means, but they were interested. Then all of a sudden, they're not interested in Crochet anymore. Interesting. Well, he goes to the Red Sox. Alex Bregman's sitting there in free agency forever, to the point where I change my mind and you change your mind. You're like, yeah, we don't really care that he can't hit in New York, based on the numbers at Yankee Stadium. We don't care. They need to sign him. He's the best option for sure. And then Nathaniel Lau becomes available, right? He gets cut, a freebie, by the Nationals. This is a guy who is one of the main reasons why the Rangers won the World Series. And dude is one of the clutchest hitters in the game. Really timely hitting, something the Yankees lack. Plays first base, would be the opposite, literally the opposite platoon guy to Paul Goldschmidt. All you need to do is pick him up. He literally will cost you $2.5 million tops. That's the rest of the deal, right? The Yankees say nope, and they let the Red Sox sign him. The Red Sox have Nathaniel Lau, Alex Bregman, Garrett Crochet. They have their former closer in Aroldis Chapman, which makes me, the way he's pitching in Boston makes me question what the hell the Yankees are doing with their pitchers like that. They're big name pitchers. And look at the guys that they got from the Yankees. You know? Oh, remember that guy? What's his name? He pitched the other day. Garrett Whitlock, of course, but he was a Rule 5 guy. But no, yesterday, what the hell was his name? Weissert. They traded Greg Weissert for Alex Verdugo. Weissert's been great for them.
Hell of a move.
And
I don't even care who. I mean, can you imagine? You can't get Alex Verdugo and win the trade.
No.
But then you give up something that someone's actually doing something with. And by the way, I see some resistance towards what you said earlier about Brian Hayes.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously you see Steve-O in the comments. Says, nah, Hayes isn't better. He's just cheaper. Let me prove that wrong here in just about 10 seconds. Brian Hayes in his last 7 games is hitting .333. His on base is over 400. Okay? He's slugging. He's putting the ball in play. And he's done it over his last 30 games, hitting almost 270 in a league that averages about 240. So he's getting on base. He's slugging. And he's a platinum glove third baseman, which just so happens to be the position of need. Oh, and by the way, as Steve points out, cheaper. He's better, hits for better average, slugs more, can also bunt. I mean, I've watched him do it, right? He's got some speed. He's better at literally, there's not a phase of baseball that Ryan McMahon is better at. I'll even go to that extent. There's nothing he's better at than Brian Hayes. And yet, it almost pains me to say he should have been a Yankee because we shouldn't have been in that position. So, Jake, I just wanted to defend what you were saying because there's just no possible way you can watch Ryan McMahon play baseball and say that the only problem with this pickup is that we owe him $16 million. No, the problem with this pickup is that he's not hitting a lick. That's a problem. It just is. You can't sell me that a third baseman in baseball could be extremely valuable while not hitting at all. You can't do that in today's game. You just can't.
His fielding run value, by the way, he's got plus 10 on McMahon. So I saw a lot of the insiders, and obviously no disrespect. I mean, some of the insiders were on our show. But I saw insiders that were saying that teams around the league view Ryan McMahon as a better defender. Based on what? Because you like the way he looks? So he's taller? He looks like he should be good? He looks like he should hit 30 bombs?
Is it the launch angle? Is it the lack of batting average, on base, slugging? Is it the worst fielding? Is it the worst arm? What is it? Ryan McMahon's a good fielder. Really good. Yeah. Very good fielder. Not as good as Hayes.
No.
And Hayes is hitting.
Far and away the best third baseman in the league defensively. There's not even... It's not close.
All right. So I'm just trying to defend. One person is good at something, and it's one side of the ball. And the other is performing on both sides right now. And he's cheaper. So what do you think was the better option? I mean, it's obvious what it is.
Yeah.
And Miss Kate Fabe with the 5 says, just saw this is a funeral service YouTube description. So here's a 5 spot. Love your energy. Wish the Yankees had it. Yeah, I put that in there last second. I set up the pod today. And I don't even know why I dropped that in the description, but I had to. I was just feeling it. So, Kate, thank you for dropping the super. Really appreciate the 5. In hindsight here, it's a devastating day because it's not something that comes as a surprise, but we're still wanting it to work. And I think after having watched today, it could not have gone better with Max Fried. He was everything you were looking for. You wanted to see the 97, 98 back. It was back. You wanted to see the located breaking ball with actual depth to it where you knew where it was going. You got it, right? You wanted to see, okay, we got a lefty on lefty matchup you saw with Roman Anthony. I'm going to go sinker off of that, miss the barrel of the bat. I'm going to do it all day. He did it. He did everything he intended to do before this game started. And we still lost. Why? In typical Yankees fashion, we played a good team and we couldn't score. To Jake's dad's point, we don't score against good teams. That's the learning experience as a Yankees fan. We're going to go beat the brakes off the ball and post a bunch of videos. Giancarlo goes deep again, and right, Gleyber Torres goes deep again.
Yeah.
Luke Voigt goes deep again. But when it really matters, those guys, other than Giancarlo, of course, You're not waiting for home runs in big games. That's not how you win those big games. Are there walk-off home runs in baseball history? Yeah. But look at the teams that are doing it. That wasn't their only approach. That wasn't the only plan of attack. It is our only one. It's the only way we score. And I'm telling you guys now, there needs to be a rebranding of Yankees baseball. These players aren't that bad. What's bad is their game plan. The X's and O's before the game, how they talk about what they're going to do out there and attack the defense, if you will, is not smart enough. It's just so cookie cutter and so little league. Just try to hit homers, hit the ball hard. It's very dumb. So I feel bad for us. I feel bad for our audience that this is what we're choosing to do on our Friday nights is wasting our time watching this baseball team that just refuses to do it another way. But Caballero should start tomorrow. I have a feeling he will. He has to. If he's not, I mean, what are you really selling this audience that pays a lot of money to go watch this baseball team? What are you selling?
I mean,
you said it's entertainment, Jake. How entertaining is that decision?
No, this isn't entertaining at all. And Oswaldo Cabrera, we've gotten on him in the past because he doesn't slug. And it's like, honestly, I'd rather have Oswaldo Cabrera right now than the guy that they're paying $16 million and trading for.
Easily.
And to your point, that wasn't what we were hoping for. We were hoping for an upgrade. We like Oswaldo Cabrera. We were hoping for an upgrade. Not that we hated him to the point where you needed to get rid of him. No, I will take Oswaldo Cabrera the whole season if I could redo this and say get rid of the injury over anything that occurred at third. Anything. He's the best third baseman.
$16 million. I'll tell you that.
He was the best player to play third base because Peraza was the best defender until McMahon showed up. But Cabrera's fine defensively. And his bat is fine. And the thing about Cabrera is that he's going to have those bleeder singles. The problem when you're constantly trying to hit a home run is that you don't get the luck of Alex Bregman, of Yoshida, of Connor Wong today, right?
Yeah, there are no variables to the game. Oh, he sprayed a bleeder over there, and there's no aspect of luck in the game. It's simply boom or bust. It's going to go ideal or you're going to get zero. And that's the thing is I want to be crystal clear about what I think of Cabrera. Cabrera was not good. It's unfortunate that he got hurt and he's out the whole year. It sucks. I'm rooting for him to get healthy and have a long career. Yeah. But I'm not going to pretend that he's just simply, when you consider contracts, what you owe a player, you have to either make a choice. Do I want to pay $16 million a year this year, next year, and the year after that to Ryan McMahon, the player that he is, that couldn't hit in Colorado, can't hit here? Do I want to pay that guy who's got to be pinch hit for in the 8th and 9th inning that type of money? Or do I want to have Cabrera on the team for another, 3 or 4 months and then go into the winter and say, well, we have to solve this problem in the winter?
No,
Cabrera
I agree completely.
Should then just be on the bench. He's a bench player. That's who he was, and he was just in the lineup as a starter because we didn't have better options at the time.
No, totally agree. And that's the thing that's frustrating because that stems from this roster construction wasn't great.
Right.
And so that's why you and I were like, we don't really have room to be picky about Alex Bregman now, do we? We're looking at the roster and we're like, yeah, there's some good, okay, if Jazz has a really good year and we love the Bellinger pickup and Goldschmidt, but it's really Bregman was the missing piece. And to see him in Red Sox uniform, it's it really is frustrating. And it just kind of goes to show you the Yankees had multiple tries at this. They nailed it with Max Fried. I still love that pickup. They did a nice job with Goldschmidt. He's definitely been worth the money, I would say. Bellinger, love that pickup. Devin Williams has not been although he was great tonight, and he's been really good back-to-back, so we'll see what ends up happening. But
horrible pickup.
But, yeah, you gave up a guy who you were telling us was going to be the starting second baseman for this team. That's what you were telling us. And now he's playing third base for the best team in the league. And that's the thing. So, yeah, it's there were definitely some opportunities they could have gone with. They could have gone out. And, like, I'm not mad that they didn't get Suarez. Like, I know some people are like, see, this is why we should have gotten Suarez. And I'm not, like, hindsight 2020 here, Gary. I know he's not playing well. It has nothing to do with that. I wouldn't have given up what they wanted for Suarez. Would not have done it.
What they want?
Well, I think they wanted, top 5 guys?
Did they get top 5 guys?
No. But I think, like, the Yankees, I think they would have, because that's the thing. See, they didn't get top 5 guys in the Mariners system because the Mariners have a deeper system than the Yankees.
Right. So I wonder if you compare the player that the Mariners traded and you just took that player out of the Mariners system and put him in the Yankee system, where does that player stand?
Probably top 5.
Top 5. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
which is why a lot of people say the Yankees don't have a good system. If another team across baseball is just like, yeah, we'll send him this player, and most people were like, oh, that player wasn't really that much to give up. They pretty much got him free. That's actually what the coverage was on MLB Network, right?
I disagree because I think the Mariners have one of the better systems in the league.
They do, but that was the coverage of the player that they sent, right? Of the package that they sent, nobody was high on the package. Nobody was like, oh, Seattle is cashing in the chips. No one said that. But then the projection was that if the Yankees are going to go get Suarez, they were going to have to be sending, oh, here's Spencer Jones. Right? That was never on the table. We weren't going to have to send Spencer Jones for a rental. That was never even the case. So, we literally heard the reporters joining our show, and they're like, the Yankees aren't even considering doing that. Because that's just not the price. That's like going into Toyota and be like, hey, man, I won't pay you guys $200,000 for this car. It's like, I bet you won't. It's a $25,000 vehicle. So I just, right now for the Yankees, in hindsight, yes, Suarez is not hitting. It wouldn't have worked out. He's also a bad glove. He wouldn't be giving us the defense McMahon's getting us. But the one thing he wouldn't be providing us is a $16 million salary next year. So it's very disappointing. Jake, what do we want them to drop in the comments?
Oh, I already know.
Oh, go ahead and drop it.
Groundhog Day. And for background, Gary, because I don't want to spoil the whole movie, but it's basically about living the same day over and over and over again.
Oh, so like Yankees baseball.
There you go. So, drop Groundhog Day in the comments section. We are wrapping up this show. Not in the chat. Drop it in the comments section at the end of this. And, if you want to throw a Ned Ryerson in there, you get bonus points. But real quick before we leave, be sure to like, subscribe, comment. Also be sure, if you're interested and you want to get in on the action of our voicemail section here, because Ninja Hot Dog was the lone wolf tonight. If you want to get in on that, be sure to sign up for the Diamond level membership. And it's all on the community tab. If you have any questions, you can, of course, DM us, email us. That's normally how that works. But that's going to do it. We appreciate you guys, and we'll see you guys later on tomorrow night.
Yeah, tonight's homework for me. Watch Groundhog Day. I'm actually going to watch The Departed. Never seen that.
Oh, I need to watch that.
Yep, watching it tonight with the wife. Hopefully she's not off to bed with the late record. And of course, guys, like this video.